The Vanishing of Erin Portia McGonigal. Hello, I'm Jay Nichol of Nichol Investigations, and this is Ontario Cold Cases, Canada's true crime podcast, on the disappearance of Erin McGonigal. It was an ordinary October evening in Mississauga, kind of night where the hum of traffic blends into the city's rhythm, where people go about their lives without noticing the stories unfolding behind closed doors. But on October 6, 2015, one of those stories took a turn that no one saw coming. Erin McGonigal, a 35-year-old woman full of life, energy, and ambition, was preparing for a fresh start. She was in the middle of a major transition, leaving her husband, moving out of their shared home, looking ahead to a new chapter. But then, she was gone. At first, no one thought much of it. Maybe she needed time. Maybe she was taking a break from the online world she was so deeply engaged in. But days turned into weeks. Her phone remained silent. Her beloved truck sat untouched. And then 49 days later, 3 concerned friends walked into a Peel Regional Police Station and filed a missing persons report. Not her husband, not her family, her friends. What happened in those 49 days? Why wasn't she reported missing sooner? And how does a woman with such a distinct presence, both online and in real life, simply vanish into thin air? Today we dive into the unsettling disappearance of Erin McGonigal, a case that remains unsolved to this day. A case filled with contradictions, inconsistencies, and questions that demand answers. This is Ontario Cold Cases, Canada's true crime podcast. Explore the unsolved mysteries of Canada with our captivating true crime podcast, Ontario Cold Cases, Canada's true crime podcast. As we piece together the evidence and follow the trail of clues, we invite you to become a part of our mission to solve these perplexing cases. New episodes available every Sunday. What happened to Erin McGonigal? The mysterious disappearance of a Mississauga woman. On October 6, 2015, Erin McGonigal, also known as Portia Devine, Portia Elizabeth Westendorp, or Erin Irene Matar, seemingly disappeared without a trace. A vibrant and social woman who had a strong online presence, Erin was known for her work as a model and exotic dancer, as well as her involvement in the trucking industry. She was in the process of leaving her husband, moving out of their shared home in Mississauga. Then she vanished. The first red flag: silence. Erin, an avid social media user, suddenly stopped posting. No updates, no messages, no online activity. A complete digital blackout. It wasn't until November 24th, 2015, that she was officially reported missing. Not by her husband or family, but by 3 concerned friends. This staggering 49-day gap between her last sighting and the reported raised immediate suspicions. Where did Erin go? Why does it seem like no one, not even law enforcement, has concrete answers? Who was Erin McGonigal? Erin was more than just a missing person. She was a daughter, a friend, and a determined woman rebuilding her life. 5 feet 4 inches tall and 125 pounds, with long brown or blonde hair and striking blue eyes, she was a recognizable figure in Toronto's nightlife scene. Her background was diverse. She worked as a model, exotic dancer, and at one point was listed as the vice president of Henry's Way Trucking, a business linked to her husband. Erin's online presence reflected her dynamic life, featuring modeling gigs, work on classic trucks, and snapshots of her time on the televised music show Electric Circus. She wasn't someone who would simply walk away from everything without a word. Up next, The Disappearance. The Disappearance. On October 6, 2015, Erin was last seen by her husband at their home on Cedar Creek Lane, near Dundas Street East and Cawthra Road in Mississauga. She'd been packing her belongings, getting ready to move out. A fresh start. Friends recall her talking about playing Tetris with her possessions, trying to fit everything into her truck. But then, nothing. Her phone was left behind. Her truck remained parked at the house. No one ever saw her again. For someone who lived a public life, the sudden disappearance felt ominous. Friends were baffled. Why would she abandon her prized truck, something she had been passionate about restoring? Why would she leave behind the very things she was so eager to take with her? Her husband initially told people Erin had gone to rehab, but when pressed, the story changed. Now he claimed she'd been picked up by an unknown woman in a truck. The inconsistencies were piling up, and concern grew deeper. The investigation and the 49-day gap. Despite Erin's sudden silence, it took nearly 7 weeks for an official missing persons report to be filed. Her husband did not report her missing. Her family did not report her missing. Instead, 3 of Erin's friends went to the police, alarmed by the total lack of contact. Only then did the police and her family become involved. Peel Regional Police's Homicide and Missing Persons Bureau took over the case, acknowledging its unusual nature. Despite extensive questioning, Erin's husband remained under scrutiny, but was never charged. Investigators found no immediate evidence of foul play, but did not rule it out either. Detectives pursued various leads, even reaching out to authorities in Windsor and Edmonton, suspecting she may have left the Greater Toronto Area. Border agencies were alerted, but there was no indication that Erin had left the country. Her social media accounts remained untouched. No bank activity, no trace. What happened in those 49 days? And why was there such a delay in reporting her missing? Theories and unanswered questions. Erin's friends and family have long speculated on what could have happened. Theories range from voluntary disappearance to something far more sinister. Number 1. Did Erin choose to vanish? Could Erin have left her life behind willingly? Some missing person cases involve individuals who cut ties and start over elsewhere. This theory doesn't fit Erin's pattern. She was in the process of moving, securing a new job, and even asked her friend George for a reference check shortly before she vanished. She was saving money, not displaying behavior of someone planning to disappear. Number 2. An unfortunate accident. Another theory is that Erin may have suffered a medical emergency or accident, yet no bodies matching her description have ever been found. And as if this were the case, why the inconsistencies in her husband's story? Number 3. Foul play. Many of Erin's friends believe she met with foul play. They point to the contradictions in her husband's statements, the delay in reporting her missing, and the lack of action taken in those critical first days. Several friends outright stated to detectives that they believed she had been murdered or that an accident had been covered up. Could someone close to Erin have been involved? Erin's husband was the last person to see her alive. If he had nothing to do with her disappearance, why the changing stories? Why the long delay in reporting her missing? Up next, a cold case in need of answers. A cold case in need of answers. Years have passed, but Erin's case remains unresolved. Her family and friends continue to push for answers, unwilling to let her memory fade into obscurity. Peel Regional Police maintain that the case remains open, with Detective Mike Nielsen reaffirming their commitment to long-term and missing persons investigations. The lack of contact with family and friends is concerning. However, people close to Erin have not given up hope that police can uncover new information that might lead to her whereabouts. Yet the reality is stark. The trail is ice cold. Those closest to Erin fear that without renewed interest or a fresh lead, her case will be quietly shelved like so many others. They urge the public to come forward with any information, no matter how small. How you can help. If you have any information about the disappearance of Erin Portia McGonigal, please contact Peel Regional Police at 905-453-2121, extension 3205, or Peel Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS, which is 8477, or visit peelcrimestoppers.ca. Someone somewhere knows something. Erin's friends and family deserve answers. If you know anything at all, now is the time to speak up. Where is Erin McGonigal? Erin McGonigal was a woman full of life. She had dreams, plans, and a future she was actively building. And yet somewhere between packing up her belongings and stepping out of her home for that last time, she disappeared. Years have passed and still no answers, no goodbyes, just silence. Someone out there knows what happened to Erin McGonigal. Maybe it's something small, something that didn't seem important at the time. A passing comment, a detail that didn't add up, a moment that felt off. Now's the time to come forward. If you have any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, please contact Peel Regional Police, or if you wish to remain anonymous, call Peel Crime Stoppers. We owe it to Erin. We owe it to her family. We owe it to the truth. Thank you for listening to Ontario Cold Cases, Canada's True Crime Podcast. If you found this episode compelling, please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us continue telling these important stories and keeping the names of the missing in the public eye. You can find Ontario Cold Cases wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or your favorite podcast app. And remember, every case deserves answers. Every missing person deserves justice. Till next time, I'm Jay Nickel from Nickel Investigations. Stay safe, stay aware, and keep asking questions.